So hey what's up guys, Riotbox here and welcome to a brand new episode of the F1 2019 career mode, and we're here for episode number 3 I should say, sorry, where we're heading out to the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's the first night race of the season, so it's going to be a pretty interesting one. Hopefully we can get ourselves a better result. Hopefully some of our first points will come in this episode. We can always pray, but we're going to do a little bit of R&D. As you can see on screen, we've now got a little bit of work in progress in each of our departments, so we're just basically getting into the practice sessions here today. I'm not really going to show you much, just a bit of an intro to the video before we hop into qualifying, where hopefully we'll get ourselves a decent result. So we did the usual 3 practice programs, got our R&D points, so we're all towards a good course.
Bahrain qualifying is nearly upon us, and the drivers look as if they're all geared up to go. I expect we'll be getting underway very shortly. And I'm here, of course, with Anthony Davidson on what has turned out to be a very pleasant day indeed. No weather to interfere, no problems on the track, so absolutely no room for error.
That's right, Crofty. It's looking good out there at the moment. Each team will have their own game plan for this session, and of course once the cars leave the garage they'll be under parc fermé conditions, so any last minute adjustments need to be done right here and now. Beyond that, it's all up to the driver. Who can keep their tyres in the right temperature, who can hit their apexes. No race fuel on board these days, of course. These are the fastest cars we've had in a long time, and it's right here in qualifying where they're at their absolute peak. Let's get started.
Right then, qualifying time. As you can see, we are straight in on our lap, and this is lap number 2, where hopefully we can get ourselves a decent lap in. Our first lap wasn't very good, so this time around hopefully it's a bit of a better one. So here we go then, pick up the DRS at the end of our opening lap. It's enough to put us into P15 for now. We'll probably go for another one if we can, right at the end of the session. Yep, as you can see, starting our 3rd flying lap at the end of the session, and Grosjean at turn number 1 completely screws us over. We've got 2 minutes, so we can whack the fuel right down, whack the ERS deployment right down, and save it all up and build up for another lap. It will be our 4th flying lap in this qualifying session, all in Q1 to try and make it up. As you can see, we're 1 place in the drop zone, P16. We're on a better lap this time, I think, slightly better, as you can see, coming towards the end. Slower through sector 1, bit quicker through sector 2, and an improvement in sector 3. So overall, going to jump us up, but it isn't enough. It's only P16.
The curtain rises once more then on the desert stage of Sakir as the players take their places for the opening act. Will they enthrall us like they did in 2014 with that titanic battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton? Well, we'll find out shortly as we get underway here in Bahrain. Bahrain has showed us many times in the past, though, Anthony Davidson, that a good strategy will only take you so far. Beyond that, you need good racecraft and you need good consistency.
And a little bit of luck too, I'd say. This is one of those circuits where the safety car always seems to come out just at the right time to condense the field together and mix up the cars on different strategies. It's hard on brakes, it's tough on fuel, and the main overtaking opportunity is down into turn 1, where it's easy to outbrake your opponent and potentially have a bit of argy-bargy as well.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Max Verstappen, and Gasly, Butler, Hülkenberg, Perez, and Roman Grosjean. Magnussen, Ricciardo, Lando Norris, and Faber, Raikkonen, the Professor, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Robert Kubica. Russell and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right then, we have an exciting race ahead of us. P16, we can only go 4 from here. Hopefully we get ourselves a good start. What are our reactions like? And we drop the clutch, and we missed the launch by a fraction of a second. I even saw it re-watching the replay here, and we go flying up the inside trying to make up for lost time, and that was very risky of us. I mean, we could have ended up in the back of someone, damage front wing and everything, but we end up straight down the middle, clear path for us. So luck is on our side, the racing god so far on our side. Can we make the strategy work? Fresh super soft tyres, and then we will go onto some fresh soft tyres, although now these are the soft tyres and the yellow wool ones are the medium tyres. So a little change for this year's regulations. Anyway, we're all over the back of our Formula 2 colleague from episode number 1, Weber. Up his inside, very aggressive. He was very nice to us, our former teammate of course in F2, but we don't show him any love there at all. I don't know what he's expecting. We need to progress up the field. We can't lose to our teammate. We need to beat him. He is our first immediate rival. Always got to beat your teammate, so I'm going to look to get past him quick, and I'm on it. I'm going up the inside here, straight up the inside at the end of that straight. Absolutely nothing he could do about that, and we're onto the back. And the two Haas cars, they're both strapped full of Ferrari parts, Ferrari engine, and I suspect plenty more Ferrari parts on board that car. So it's going to be quick and it's going to be tough. Our Renault engine doesn't pack as much of a punch as that Ferrari power unit does. So we weren't able to sneak up his inside. We pulled that move on a couple of drivers, one being our teammate and one our former teammate from last year, but not able to pull it on Romain Grosjean. A little more clever and smart at defending, so we settle into P13 for now, and we're going to settle into a bit of a rhythm. We need to hit the ground running, look after these tyres for as long as we can, and potentially think about the undercut strategy. So as you can see, we're just pushing and pushing and pushing. Got our teammate behind us pushing us along, so putting us under a bit of pressure, and you can see come on the brakes down the hill there. Very, very tricky braking zone. That is very easy to lock up. We get a little bit of a four-wheel slide going as well, so we could be under attack here from Lando Norris, our teammate. Is he going to come back up the inside? Revenge for Norris? No. He pushes us a little bit. We close the door. He tries to open it, but it just wasn't working. Not opening that door today. So we keep him at bay for now. P13, we're running a little bit wide there. I'm losing confidence on these tyres. They seem to have gone. I mean, look at the wear on that. We're only 3 laps into them. They were fresh at the start of this race. So lap number 5, I was in 2 minds. Do I pit? Do I stay out? I saw that guy go into the pit there. I believe that is Hulkenberg, and we follow him in. I don't know why. Something just came over me. Is this the wrong strategy? That we were meant to go a little bit further into the race on these tyres, but they were feeling worn. I wanted to go for the undercut, and this is going to be a risk, but sometimes you have to take risks to reap some good rewards. So we're right down in stone dead last place, following Hulkenberg's strategy. Let's see if it works out. I don't know if he's going to pit again, but I certainly not. Anyway, 2 or 3 laps later, everyone else is in the pits, and we're overtaking people. We're overtaking Ricciardo as well, so we're finding ourselves at this point. Oh, Lewis Hamilton out of the race there. That is not what we expected. Let's take a look at what happened to it. Did he get into a crash, or was it just a simple pure engine failure? It just looks like he went off wide, and then he must have it must be an engine failure or a part failure. So Mercedes struggling with reliability. Bottas was outside the points in Australia, and now Hamilton out of the race. So Mercedes losing out on big points, and Ferrari look to be leading this race at the minute, with Leclerc and Vettel out front. But anyway, back to our little race going on. Hulkenberg, we can clear him, man. We're on fresh tyres. I've been sat behind him. I've caught up to him. We sat about 1.5 seconds behind him, and then decided just to push up to the back of him. So we'll put him under pressure. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get the DRS. And yes, we do on the next straight. We pick up the DRS. We're going to look to the inside of Nico Hulkenberg. Send one up the inside if we can. Very aggressive. We make the move stick. So for Renault versus Renault power unit, they're pretty more evenly matched, so with the DRS and the ERS we'll get the overtake done. We've got plenty of fuel as well. I'm just sticking it in rich mix, but I've got to watch out for the engine temperature, as that does raise it. Anyway, lap number 9, more people into the pits, and we're going to be coming out ahead of Kevin Magnussen and behind our rival from F2, Butler. So we've managed to jump both Haas cars in the pit stop stages, and Ricciardo is ahead of them as well. So we've got Ricciardo as a bit of a buffer, but he might come on the attack of us anyway. We're trying to catch up to Butler. At this point, I'm really psyched up. I want to get revenge, because F2, we failed to beat him in the championship. So in F1, we want to try and get up to him.
Some information on Butler. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Okay, at this point, I'm jumping around in my seat. Kevin Butler, I think his name's Kevin Butler anyway, in the Racing Point car up ahead has some sort of problem, and he's going to be slowing down. At this point, I'm jumping up and down. It wasn't long until we caught up to the back of Butler. We got the DRS. That Mercedes power unit must be failing, because we're catching up like a dream. We're going to breeze past him. Oh, it's not that easy actually. On the brakes though, brake much later than, maybe he's got a brake problem or something, but he was slowing down over that lap, and we managed to make the move quick and pick up some more surprise points. That's us up into P6. I wasn't expecting to be able to get Butler, but lap 11, look at those tyres. We now need to manage the tyres. Our tyres are about 2 laps older than everybody else's behind, and it is K-Mag behind us in the house, and he was quick at the start of the race. But we've built up our pace and we managed to bring it to the final corner, around there nice and safe. Almost 50% wear on that left rear. It took an absolute hammering, but we come across the line to take our first points.
Can't complain about that one. That was an excellent drive.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So it is Sebastian Vettel this time that takes the win. Bottas recovers from his previous race at Australia, gets some points. We get 6th place. That is what? How many points? 8 points for us in the championship. That is wonderful stuff. We beat our teammate as well, who's outside of the points. He went backwards from the starting grid. So take a look at the standings. I'm looking forward to this. Vettel at the top. Look at that. We jump up to 9th place in the championship. Lovely stuff. Constructors, Ferrari, I'm guessing, are going to be running away with it. Yes, and it's Red Bull ahead of Mercedes as well. So Mercedes, first 2 races, have had an absolute stinker. Anyway, that's it for this episode. If you have enjoyed, remember to smash the like button, share it around with friends, and do not forget to subscribe for more. So for now, I will leave you with the post-race interviews.
Let's have your take on it. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be... Great. Well, that's everything.